Okay. Welcome everybody to Business Made Easy. I'm Chelsea Stevens, and I have been in doTERRA running a business for 11, almost 11 and a half years. Excuse me, frog in my throat. Um, so I'm excited to share with you some basics on how to make this business easy. If you're here for the first time, welcome. And hopefully this will answer some questions for you. Hopefully this will give you a good foundation for how you are going to take action to build a doTERRA business. And if this is a refresher for you, welcome again. Some of these things, there can be a lot of information here. We're going to try to get it done pretty efficiently, but some of it in terms of compensation plan details and things like that, you may want to review multiple times. Repetition is always a good thing, especially when you're learning something new. And if you're new to business in general, which I was completely, I had to review this many times. If you're new to network marketing, it's a whole different type of business. So reviewing this multiple times or reaching out to your your leaders will benefit you a lot in terms of how you want to strategically build your business and be smart in the steps that you take. So let's get started. If you could either pull out a notebook, a piece of paper, a phone with notes in it, somewhere where you want to take notes, and just take a few minutes to answer these questions. So just exploring what this opportunity looks like for you. So what would be the best part of running your own business? Perhaps you haven't run your own business and you have ideas of what that maybe could be. Perhaps you have and you know what the best parts are. Number two, how do you feel about network marketing? There's a lot of different feelings out there. How do you feel about it? And three, what intrigues you about the opportunity with doTERRA? What has you curious here? Is it the amazing products? Is it that you just like helping people? Could it be their co-impact sourcing, how they're making a mark on the world, but in a very positive way? Is it just compensation plan in general? And what would residual income mean for your family? Residual income meaning basically passive income, where you do some work and your money keeps coming in, even in times when you aren't able to work or choosing not to work for a season. Oops, I just got stuck. Okay, what does financial freedom mean to you? That may or may not be a new term. What does it mean to you? Forgive me, hopefully this frog will go away soon. So let's just compare. And in no way am I going to compare this as a good versus bad. This is just traditional jobs versus authentic direct sales or network marketing. This is just comparing the difference. Jobs are wonderful. We need people to have jobs. Many people need jobs, traditional jobs. Many people want traditional jobs, and that's totally fine. This is just comparing the two. So in a traditional job, you are trading hours for dollars. So if you don't show up, you don't get paid, right? You show up, you get paid. There's a limit on advancement and earnings. Typically go to school to choose a career path, and it advances as far as that often that education takes you, or as far as the career path that you've chosen takes you. There's limited time freedom. So There are options, in some cases, offerings for paid time off. Um, but you don't get to just choose to work whenever and however often you want. And then you are building someone else's dream, which again is fine if you want to do that. Authentic direct sales is a true residual income. Like I said a minute ago, it is you put work in. You could put work in for a season, and if you've done it effectively, then you can choose your workload level, and you'll still have an income that comes in even if you're not working. There's no limit to advancement and earnings. This is probably one of the coolest parts about it. So there's many rank options you can choose. And if you choose to rank advance higher than the person who enrolled you or than me, feel free. It's totally your call. There is no, we're all the CEO of our own businesses here in this situation, and you can outrank anyone if you put the work in. Freedom to choose your schedule, which is a phenomenal feature to this experience. Like I said, you put work in, and sometimes you'll have situations where you can't show up to work, and you don't, and you still get paid, or you choose to take vacations or trips or seasons off, and you're still getting paid. For example, I had 3 babies in the last 11 years during my doTERRA journey, and for me, pregnancy and baby season is really tough, and so I took multiple months at a time off. My last one, it was almost 2 years that I ended up not really able to touch my business because of the toll that my pregnancy and baby took on me. I adore her though. And then in this case, you're building your own dreams. So like I said, you choose the level of advancement that you want to reach, and then you have the freedom to continue to do that, continue to grow. You can grow bigger and stronger teams if you wish, or you can shift gears to passion projects and work on things that you feel called to do. And that is totally up to you. So why partner with doTERRA? It is the most tested and most trusted for so many reasons in terms of our products as well as the business, the corporate side. We have over 8.5 million customers. I think at this point it might even be at 9. We're used by doctors and hospitals worldwide, and participating in, and we're a part of many, many more research studies. We are solid company-wise as well as product-wise. We have a record-breaking retention rate. If you know anything about network marketing, you know that most companies hold a retention rate of about 13%, usually lower. And so often you have to just churn and burn. You just keep enrolling more and more and more people, which you do in this case too, because that's the fun part, but also you'd have to do it in those situations because you have to. Whereas typically we're 65% of loyal customers, just customers, and not necessarily business builders, but it's often higher than 65%. We are the largest essential oil company in the world, and we've only been around for just over a decade. And our growth rate was similar to Apple, which, if you know, Apple is a huge company. We became $1 billion company in 7 years' time, just like Apple. Optimal timing for the opportunity. That is something that I think will always be the case. I laugh when people ask me when I got started, and it was 2009, which is a year after the company started. And I didn't join for the opportunity. I did to a degree, but I also joined because I was someone who couldn't shut my mouth about the products. And I was a young mom who needed some solutions. I found them in these products, and everybody who crossed my path, I was like, you need these, everybody needs them. And so it was a natural progression for me to create a business here. Um, but timing, people will say, oh, you got in early, how lucky are you? No, that's not the case. I know many people who got in 5, 6, 7, 8 years later who have outranked me. And that's totally because any time is optimal timing for this. These products are needed by everyone. And it seems like the world is embracing natural solutions more and more. And so the timing couldn't be better. We also are in 120 markets worldwide, and these markets are solid. They're strong. They've been strategically founded and created. And also the coolest thing about doTERRA, one of the things that I feel like I'm in good hands, and I feel like I'm in a safe place with a company that is debt-free with no outside funding. So that's something to be proud of, and that's something to hitch your wagon to, because that's not very common. And they're very, very wise with how they spend their money. They care. Their partnerships with growers around the world are strong. They are exclusive as well. I believe recently we learned that we are 99% exclusive with our growers. So it's just us and them in the relationship. We preserve agricultural traditions through co-impact sourcing. Co-impact sourcing is a term that doTERRA came up with that describes our relationship with our growers and our farmers. A lot of these growers and farmers have been handed down these farms for decades, centuries, and want to keep these farms and need a fair wage in order to make that possible. And so doTERRA, through their co-impact sourcing initiatives, we will help them build distilleries. We will help them build what they need for their communities to be strong, and also create jobs. In a lot of the areas we focus are developing countries. And so we provide jobs for the communities and these families, and they're able to keep their farms and provide for their children. And then they're able to send them to school, and they're able to make a good living and a good life. So we also have a nonprofit, Healing Hands Foundation, that focuses on giving back. We partner with and support many great charities like Operation Underground Railroad, let's see, Days for Girls, Interest International, where we are offering microloans to help people build and begin small businesses in developing countries, and then they're able to build those businesses and then keep growing. So let's see, as doTERRA grows, other lives are lifted. Like I said, co-impact sourcing is a beautiful piece to the core of who doTERRA is. Every purchase changes growers' lives and their communities. It's kind of fun to think, when I buy a bottle of vetiver, that I'm helping a family and a community in Haiti that was suffering and that was much affected by earthquakes, and just not able to get to lift themselves, right? And so and Source to You, like the last point says, learn more at Source to You, is a really great resource where you can look up any of the products and see the whole line from farmer to the bottle in your hand. doTERRA is a very transparent company. They will show you all the steps. And so again, it's someone I feel safe with. So some of the questions you might have: how do I make money? That's an obvious question. How much time is involved? Could it work for me? And what is the next step? So how do I make money? It's probably one of the simplest models in the whole world. You sample people or get oils on them somehow, whether it's carrying oils with you, whether it's carrying sample vials with you and giving them, whether it's shipping people samples. And we have more than one way to do that. You sample them, you get oils on them. Then you teach them how to use them and how to use more and how to benefit them. Then you enroll them so they can be a customer or a wellness advocate. And then you support them. You help them get the education they need, which we have for you. How much time is involved? So it just depends on what your goals are. You're welcome to go small and simple if you want to just pay for your product. A lot of the time that's people's first goal anyway, because it's like, oh no, I really want these products. Now I need, and you go through the shopping cart and the list gets longer and longer and you pay for your habit. You start to fall in love, right? And so that takes 3 to 5-ish hours a week. And then supplementing your income is another option, which means you could, maybe save for the future, or you could pay for extra curricular things for your children, dance lessons, sports, all those things. That would be about a 10 to 15 hour a week commitment. And then replacing your income, which would require anywhere from 15 to 30 hours a week. That's still less than a full-time job. But but if you want to replace your income and eventually retire from whatever you're doing, it's going to require some time and some focus and commitment. And effective 15 to 30 hours is totally possible in a reasonable time frame. So could this work for me? Well, ask yourself, are you passionate about oils or about the company of doTERRA? Do you care about people? And can you follow a system and get things done? If you said yes to any or all of those, then this could work for you. And truth be told, I had zero skills coming into this. I just love people and I pay attention to their needs and then ask them questions, and come to find out, about 90% of the time people want what I have and they know they need it. So it's super simple that way. Now let's just look at some numbers for a second. So the dilemma that we have is that the average income needed for retirement in the US is $4,500 a month, which is about $54,000 a year. And in order to achieve that, you would need a nest egg savings of over $1 million invested and earning 5% interest in each month. I'm not sure that even exists, nor do I know anyone who has been able to save $1 million in their lifetime. There's probably some super smart people. It also would take 40 years of a working career, saving and investing $27,000 per year, which if you're making $54,000 per year, that's half your income. And that's not very reasonable for most people. So also, a couple stats, 75% of people at age 50 have less than $5,000 in a bank account, period. That's not monthly, that's period. So that's not something you can live on safely. And then 98% of retired people depend on outside financial resources. And I don't know about you, but I don't want that to be me. I would like to know that I have my future secured and my children's future secured, and that I can also help other people create a future that is secure. So why direct sales? Well, there's a built-in business model. It is so incredible, actually, that the company does all this work for you. They source the product, they fulfill the orders, they do the billing, the customer service. We don't have to keep inventory on hand, and then they ship everything. So we don't have hardly any overhead. Unless down the road you feel like hiring an assistant to help you manage some things, which people do, you hardly have an outgo. So the built-in education system, there's so much available to you from doTERRA and also from us for both product knowledge, business trainings, and leadership development. And then low startup costs, which for any sort of an investment for something that is, if you're going into, you want to be self-employed and you want to do like a brick and mortar business or franchise or anything like that, there's a huge upfront investment. And this is literally, my investment at the beginning was about $150. It was about the last $150 I had in the bank. At the time for us, we needed this to work. And then it's around $100 a month. Over time, you'll find that you'll want to spend more than that, but it's about $100 a month. That's all that's required in order to make money here. That's super simple. And it's on products you actually use in your home. So it's like a win-win, right? So what do you want to create? This is just a simple chart. I'm just going to skim over it really quick of the possible ranks that you can reach in doTERRA. Once you've reached that top rank called Presidential Diamond, you can actually do this again and again and again. You can do it as many times as you want. So the basic, most simple ranks that you could achieve have an average monthly income of anywhere from $100 to $2,000 a month. $2,000 a month is significant and can change anyone's life, right? Even $100 a month can. But then there's also the higher ranks, which can be significant for a family, anywhere from almost $5,000 a month to over $100,000 a month. Honestly, when I first started this, I couldn't even conceive some of those numbers. It was not in my human mind to be able to wrap around this idea that you could make that kind of money. And what would you even do with that kind of money? It was over the top for me. And so I just set ranks. I just set goals based on our needs. And at the time it was, let's pay for our products so that I don't have any outgo, because we really can't pay for this. And then after that, it was, what's the next step? Well, gosh, if we could make $3,000 or $4,000 a month, that would be incredible. And it would make a huge difference for our family. And it did. And then we just kept taking, putting our eye on the next goal up, and then the next goal, until we reached where we are now, which is like I said, in a place where I didn't even know was possible. And the beauty of it is not only does it give you time freedom and financial freedom, but it also helps you start to think about giving back and think about, how do you contribute to the world in bigger ways and help more people. So there are a good handful of ways that you can get paid by doTERRA, and I'm just going to cover each of those quickly. The first way is called a Fast Start bonus. It's something you get paid on weekly, and it's based on your enrollments. So the more people you enroll, the more money you make up front. This lasts for the first 60 days of anything that they order. So if you're enrolling new people for the rest of your life or for the next 10 years, you're going to make this percentage off of them. When you're the enroller, you're the person who enrolls them, you make 20%. When you're and your person who enrolled you makes 10, and the person who enrolled them makes 5. So it goes up the line and starts to be residual right away. So for example, if you enroll Amy and she orders a 100 PV order, you earn whatever the math is there, right? 20% of 100 would be $20. And then say Amy enrolls Joe. Amy earns 20% of his order, you earn 10%, and so on to the next level. So it's really exciting. And I remember when I got my first check, first of all, was, like $9, it really wasn't much, but I was like, yes, this is exciting. And then those started to grow. Of course, I was doing all the work. And then eventually I remember when I got a check that I hadn't done all the work for, it was a new amount, and it was a surprise. It was really exciting to think, oh, wow, I taught someone to do this and they did it, and now I'm making more money. So Power of 3 is a structure and volume bonus. And there are some nuances to this that you'll want to ask your enroller, ask the person who, your leader, about these, to make sure that you're really strategic about this one. You can't always be perfect with it, but you can do your best to be strategic. And so essentially what it is if you and 3 people right under you create a 600 PV volume for that month, each person has to place at least a 100 PV order, then you will make $50 every month that happens. And then if you take that and duplicate it, then their 3 people placing a total of 600 PV, they make $50 and you make $250. And then you take it down one more level and duplicate it again, then you're actually making a $1,500 bonus. Then your person under you is making $250 and the person under them is making $50. This is not something that gets added on. It's not like 50 plus 250 plus $1,500, $1,800 bonus every month. It's just the one. So, but the cool thing is, once you've done this once, you can do it a second time, a third time, a fourth time across your team. So The next way that you can make money is called the unilevel bonus. This is actually the one that takes the longest to get to, and it looks like the smallest at first, like that. There it is, $9. It looks like it is the least, but long term, it will be the biggest part of your check. And that is a really fun place to get to as well, is when the tables turn and your fast start bonus and your 1500 bonus and your all those bonuses and your rank are all end up being a smaller part of your check than your unilevel. You know you have grown a really great team, and if you keep going, it will be really beneficial and solid. So if you see the comparisons here, the left to the right, there's you in doTERRA, and then there's you in a typical unilevel plan, and how the numbers are flipped. So in doTERRA, on your first level, you make a small percentage after the fast start bonus ends. You're probably wondering what happens after that. This is what happens. After that ends, you make 2% off of anything they order from there on out. And then as you go down the levels, you make 3, 5, 6, and 7% all the way down to level 7. So if you look at the opposite chart where it goes the other way, 7% first, all the way down to 2%, you can see the numbers, the money numbers next to those, how important it is that this unilevel plan is what it is, and it's not flipped. You're going to make more money the more you help people. That is the beauty of this compensation plan. The more you help your people, help their people, help their people, you're going to make more money. So the deeper your team is, the more you make. And yeah, so this part of your check can become massive down the road. Leadership performance pools are, once you hit certain ranks, you start to get a percentage of what the entire company makes, which is super cool. Like, it motivates you to help everyone. So that's one of the things I love about doTERRA. They motivate you to help your team, help their teams, but it also, this payout motivates you to support and encourage the whole company, even if they're not on your team. Because what this is if once you reach the rank of Premier, Silver, or Gold, you will get that percentage of 1.25% plus more. We have some new bonuses that have come out as well. So it's actually more than that. You will make that much off of what the entire company volume is. So it's in the billions, right? And so it'll be significant. And then at Silver, Gold, and Platinum, it's 2%. And then at Diamond, Blue, Diamond, or Presidential Diamond, it's 4% of the entire company. So it's not cutthroat, you know? It just feels like supportive all around. So here's an example of what we just talked about in terms of investing long-term versus residual income. So if you're just making $50 a month, you have the level 1 bonus, it's like $50, you know. A lot of people will say, big deal. That pays for my gas to get to the store and back these days, right? So it doesn't seem like a lot. It's $600 a year. However, it takes an average time of 3 months to earn this bonus that will consistently come. And you would need, in order to compare to this, you would need to save $12,000 earning 5% every month in order to match this. So I don't know which one you would rather do, but for me, it just makes a ton of sense to work towards the $50 bonus and help people at the same time. So it's, again, a win-win. And then at your level 2, the 250 bonus, you're making about $3,000 a year. The average time it takes you to earn this bonus is 6 months. And then in that case, to compare, you would need to save $60,000 and invest it and have it be returning a 5% in order to compare to getting a $250 bonus every month. So then at level 3, $1,500 a month, which is $18,000 a year, that's significant for any family. You would need to have saved $360,000 and have it invested in a 5% return savings. So I don't know. I just know that wouldn't be me in a lifetime, especially making less prior to doTERRA. We wouldn't have even been able to save a small amount of that. Nor do we know of any great savings accounts that return 5%. So, and then at the unilevel bonus, the average income is $2,200 a month. That's really great. at silver. It's a really great income, 26,000 a year. And the time that it takes to reach silver is about a year. And that is, with focus, consistency, that is totally doable. I believe we hit silver in 6 months, gold in 9. And that is not hard at all. And you would need to, in comparison, you would need to save 528,000 and have it invested. So reaching the rank of silver in 1 year versus trying to save 528,000 in your lifetime is a pretty inviting thing. So at gold, your average is $4,500 a month, and the average time it takes to get to gold is 30 months, basically 2.5 years, and you would need to have invested $1 million, more than $1 million. So it's pretty appealing, right? Planning for the future. So the current 10-year plan versus the doTERRA 10-year plan. Typically in a job, you have raises, but they cap off at a certain point, and they're not huge. There might be some that are big, but in year 1 with doTERRA, let's say you're making $51,000, or with not in doTERRA, you're making $51,000. By the end of 10 years, you're making $16,000+ more than that per year, with a lot of work and focus and time, 40-hour weeks. If you compare that to doTERRA in 10 years, if you rank advance every year, which is very easy to do if you're consistent and focused and follow systems, then in 10 years, you can be making over $1.2 million. So yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? So what's the next step for you? Well, if you have a wholesale account, great. Contact your enroller and upgrade and set up your LRP. Make sure that that's set up so that you can start making money. You have to have an LRP set up, a loyalty rewards order set up, in order to make money. If you don't, choose a kit and set up an LRP. So yeah, if you need to upgrade from wholesale customer, then do that. Otherwise, just set up an LRP. So, and then tapping into existing resources, you'll have access to all of our trainings, and then start making your list and sampling people. So this is where it all starts. That's where it all started for me. So I hope that was helpful and useful to you, and got you thinking about your goals and your plans and what you want to achieve in doTERRA. I invite you to visualize, write down your goals, write them as if they're happening now. It's one of the best ways to accomplish them here. I know we've done that for years, and it brings it closer faster. My experience in doTERRA has been 11 years long, and it definitely has been work. It's not always easy, and some of the work isn't fun. But is all the work you do ever fun? No, some of it isn't. Is it rewarding and worth it? Absolutely. The lives that I've been able to change and benefit, and the people who now feel empowered to take control of their healthcare in their homes, and who are now also sharing with other people and helping more people, it's absolutely worth the effort to see how beautiful this can be and what it can do for so many people in the world. And I just invite you to take your next step, be courageous, and know that people need what you have. People want it. Not everybody does, but people do, and you'll find them. And this is a very simple business. You don't need to get fancy with any of it. Just follow the systems and take the steps. Open your mouth, share with people, and make a difference in their lives, and it will make a difference in yours. And have a ton of fun. And we look forward to seeing you more later.